I have a lot to say about this movie, but let's set some ground rules. This video will not be me taking feces and hurling it at Astruc. That said, comparisons between the show and the movie will be inevitable since this is based off of the show. You'll notice right away that the animation is stunning. Just the management of light alone is leagues better than the series, which makes sense since this is a 100-minute movie as opposed to a 25-episode season. Of course, to adjust to a different art direction, we get some changes to character designs. Emily Agreste, for example, went from looking like Discount Tara Strong to this. But quick side note, if you ever wonder why hair, clothes, and water always get more polished in projects like these, it's because hair, clothes, and fluids tend to be difficult to animate, so the more time and more money you have, the better it looks. But moving on. As you would expect from a compressed runtime, some details needed to be shifted around and altered to make sense. For example, there's no indication that Adrian is a model for Gabriel's brand. I also like how it's implied Adrian hates intimacy because of the death of his mother, which makes him a much better foil to Gabriel in all aspects. Chloe in general doesn't seem to know Marinette at all before the coffee spilling incident. Sabrina is firmly on the doormat end and less of a willing accomplice with Chloe's antics. And because we didn't see him do 5 seasons worth of shifting between idiot or mustache twirling villain, Gabriel is even more sympathetic. Besides the gargoyle, I don't think he turned any ordinary citizens into villains, only random thugs. Also, the akumatized villains can only turn back after being struck with enough force, which is an interesting change from the series. I also do like how we see Emily's death greatly affect Adrian, since he does visit his old mother's theater, and it's now abandoned. It's a nice way of showing rather than telling. Marinette also gets better characterization. Showing off her klutzy nature comes from a lack of self-esteem. She stops being the walking disaster area when she grows a spine. In terms of plot, it's a rather standard superhero affair. 2 normal teenagers gain powers and use them to fight supervillains. The movie is quite heavy-handed when it comes to the message about the power of love and how 2 are stronger together. This is the basic plot alone, but the movie went out of its way to make itself a musical. Being a musical is probably the most controversial aspect of this film. I maintain that these are good songs, for the most part, but I dislike how they are used in the film in particular. One such instance of poor integration with the plot is the attack on the fair. Marinette goes into full inner monologue mode with the song Courage in Me. It really kills the pacing and dramatic tension of that scene. We also have the issue of Marinette not being voiced by Christina V and Bryce Papenbrook not voicing Adrian during the singing scenes. Instead, a French singer named Lou was doing the singing for Marinette. And this is important because Marinette suddenly getting a French accent and a deeper voice can take people out of the moment. Yes, I get Lou sings part of the theme song, but it's noticeable that she's the one singing Marinette, especially during, I think it was You Are Ladybug, where Lou is actually speaking during the scene. And while Bryce Papenbrook doesn't sing his songs either, he has been replaced by Drew Ryan Scott. I'm not experienced in musical theater by that much. I only have half a dozen failed auditions to my name, but it seems like Drew and Lou aren't exactly acting in character and singing, which is a difficult skill to pick up. It's not to say all the music is bad or all the music is poorly integrated. The remix of the theme song is used pretty well in the montage against supervillains, which is one of the ways you should be using a song like that in an animated musical. The one musical choice I found very odd to omit was the song The Wall Between Us. That was weird to not put that in the movie. But let's talk about the things people actually want me to talk about. The love square, rather than being a gag, or at least something that evolved into a gag on the fandom's end, ends up being a source for drama for both Adrian and Marinette, which is a much needed change of pace. And the love square is resolved by the end of the film. Thank goodness! And off the heels of the season 5's controversial ending, we actually have Adrian play a direct role in defeating Hawkmoth. Realizing how much he was hurting his own son, it's what breaks Gabriel's self-akumatization. Also, if you're wondering if Adrian is still a sentimonster, that's probably the case since Emily is wearing the peacock Miraculous when Natalie goes to check on her tomb. The movie is just okay. It is standard superhero fare about the power of love and working together, but what drags the movie down is ultimately the poor integration of the music. The music makes it drag at times and does interrupt more dramatic scenes. Some of the songs needed to be axed or altered to better fit the scene itself. If Zag can fix that for the sequel, then it has the potential to be great. But those are my thoughts on the matter. Please consider liking, subscribing, and tipping the channel on Ko-fi. This is Cyril signing off.